Hey folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the 27th of March 2014. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm just going to give you a little mini podcast. I usually do an hour, but I'm going to give you 30 minutes, give you a rundown of what's coming up on the Views Expressed today on Free America Radio Network at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Lots of things going on. Of course, the president is with the Pope, and the Pope basically controls the president. So, go from there, folks. Figure it out. The thing that really has the thing is, what has gotten me to be at the brink of just going beyond reason is the fact that we have a government that is completely and utterly out of control. We do. And we're not the only ones. Okay? We're not the only ones. There are people all over the world that are protesting. They're protesting. They're doing what they do. Why? Because they're tired of their corrupt governments too. 70,000 people in communist Russia are protesting their government's intervention into the Ukraine. You can go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Check out that article as well. There's nothing in this world more important than freedom and liberty of each individual, and our sovereign liberty as a person is more important than the government that is supposed to be positive and leading us into, greater things and better things and more positive things. And as you can tell throughout the history of what's gone on in several governments all over the world for the last several thousands of years, different generations, different cultures, different societies, socialism doesn't work. Communism doesn't work. Collectivism doesn't work. The ideas of Edward Bernays, the ideas of Saul Alinsky do not work at all, ever, and never will be a part of the United States of America, even though Washington, D.C., and the Alinskyites up there, and the Muslim Brotherhood in Washington, D.C., want a complete overthrow of the United States of America. Why? Because we are the most free and educated and resourceful people on the planet. Because we have that freedom, we can be resourceful. Oh, and by the way, we are the most armed people in the world. On average, for every one person who owns a legally purchased gun, for every one person in the United States, probably somewhere in the vicinity of about 150 to 200 million people, each of those people have at least 2 firearms per person or more. We are the most armed people in the world. And granted, there are people out there who are going to get really pissed off at this government and try to, do something against it, which, of course, in the news, you've heard some of it, and it's very rare that you would ever hear any law-abiding citizen take their gun out and, want to fire upon our government. But let me tell you this. You cannot get around the fact that as we go through this whole process of this false paradigm of having left and right, and this false security of having votes, this fake political system that we have, giving you some semblance of choice. We have to get beyond that. We have to think, hey, wait a minute, this is not right. Somebody left out one crucial part of the recipe in freedom. You know what I'm saying? Or in this whole system that has been co-opted by the corporations since 1871. We cannot sit back and relax anymore, folks. Peaceful revolution is the key. Civil disobedience is the key. Getting out into the streets with signs and all of that is a key to making the changes that we, the people, want. Now, I know some people would probably say, well, you've got so many people out there, and they're going to, somebody in that crowd is going to create chaos. Well, those are paid provocateurs by the government because they're all over the place. And I'll tell you why. Because the government knows Washington, D.C. and the military-industrial complex and the psychological operations that they use against us, they already know that once they start pulling away the freedoms of the people are going to rise up and try to, defend themselves, basically. So they already know this. So they're going to infiltrate all these different groups. They've infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan. They've infiltrated the white supremacy groups. They've infiltrated all of these groups that are so negative against the freedoms and liberties of America, or the white supremacist group that say, everybody else other than white people need to control everything else. So they've infiltrated all of this. They've created chaos. They've created a schism within the mindset of people. They've are they successful? No, because we know about it. Educated individuals like myself, which are millions and millions and millions of us, understand this crap. We understand that the state-run media, the CIA-funded state-run media, is lying to us. We know this. We see this now as of 2008 and 2012. We see this now. We understand how much of a lying piece of crap these people are in Washington, D.C. Now, I don't know anybody. I don't know any quote-unquote candidate running for either office here in the midterm elections in November of 2014 or for the presidential election in 2016, I don't know any quote-unquote candidate that is ever going to hold up the Constitution, tell Congress what's going to happen, and tell the people what they need to do. I don't know anybody that can do that. Okay? I don't know anybody that wants to do that. Well, I've seen people promote other people for candidates and stuff like this. Then prove to me that you're going to hold up the Constitution prior to 1871, the ones that our founding fathers built this country on, and you tell Congress, I'm your boss, you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do because the people are your boss and they tell me to tell you what to do, period, end of sentence. I don't know anybody that's going to stand up in Congress on the day they are elected and in the Oval Office and tell Congress, we're abolishing the IRS and the Federal Reserve. We're abolishing all laws that this previous president has put into place because he's not an American citizen, period. Okay? I don't know how this whole system got co-opted. I don't know the specific little intricate details where it went from a republic, which we are, a constitutional republic, to a socialistic democracy. I don't know what that little thing was that caused that. Maybe it was the New Deal in 1933. Maybe it was the crash of the stock market in 1929. Maybe it was the creation of the Federal Reserve and the IRS in 1913. I don't know what little thing caused this country to get co-opted to go from a constitutional republic to a socialistic democracy. I don't know. I don't know what that was. But you people that are hearing this today, right now, need to do something, and you need to do something fast. A lot of people said, well, we got to get our bug-out bags, we need to get our weapons, we need to get as much ammunition as we can, we need to get first aid kits, we need to find a place outside of the city to go to just in case the crap hits the fan. Well, that's a wonderful idea, and that's number one on your list, or should be. If you want to protect yourself, your family, or your neighbors, you need to do what you have to do. Oh, and by the way, if you live, if you're on disability, Social Security disability, whatever, you better start thinking like this, because you will be the first ones that the system will gobble up and spit out and vomit out of their, mouth. And I'm using all sorts of metaphors, folks. They're going to, it's a pack mentality, folks. If part of the pack or one member of the pack is injured, guess what? The rest of the pack walks away. Okay? Except for human beings, we have a heart. And we'll take those injured members of our pack, of humanity, and try to take care of them. Okay? Think about it, folks. I don't know why, and I'm curious, folks. I'm just curious. So maybe you can tell me that, maybe you can give me the answer to this. Why is it that when you hear someone like myself or Pete Santilli or Alex Jones or Glenn Beck or Michael Savage or whoever else talk about how the government is a tyrannical government, I don't know why people look at us going, nah, that's not true. Well, number two, I don't know why those people who say that don't have anything to back it up with. Because they know we're right. So I'm curious about that. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com, and let me know. You can go to freeamericaradio.us to help out get Free America Radio to the next level, because we are moving forward. A little slow, a couple of things need to happen, but we're moving forward. So freeamericaradio.us, donate. We do accept Bitcoin, but now I'm hearing the IRS is treating that as property, and they're going to tax you on that property, just like if you had fine wine or a fancy car or a collector car in your garage. They're going to tax you on that. So, they can't consider it a currency because they don't consider it a currency. Germany and other places consider it a currency. So, this is one of the other reasons why we need to get rid of the IRS. We need to go out in thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We need to go out and demand that the IRS be abolished. And if it has to start statewide first and then grow nationally, then that's exactly what we're going to have to do. End the Fed and end the IRS. Okay? Just get rid of them both. They don't need to be around. We need to keep all of our money. That's the way it is. Because as you know, if you look back in history, we keep all of our money. We can create jobs for ourselves and hire people. Hello, and the economy gets a hell of a lot better. But right now, as it is, we're all in debt, and that's what they want. They want us in continual, perpetual debt, and that's what the Federal Reserve and the IRS do. The Federal Reserve has nothing to do with the federal government, and the IRS is nothing more than their, little enforcer that goes out and breaks legs. You know what I mean? So anyway, hey, I'm going to take a short little break. I shall return right after this. We the people have the power, for we are America. The views expressed live on the Free America Radio Network. freeamericaradio.us. What we see is not always the truth. Lies, deceit, cover-ups. This is the world we live in. It is not reality. It is distorted reality. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. Find him on Facebook on Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker and distortedreality.podbean.com.
Free Talk Live.
That's all libertarians are saying is let's stop the violence. And really, when you put it in those terms, it sounds kind of liberal. Let's stop the violence.
Sure,
right?
it's a movement about peace and personal responsibility. It could very easily sound like, when you use the word peace, sounds liberal, you know?
Right. So if the first libertarian you ever meet or hear on the radio is just talking about making government smaller, I can totally understand why you would get confused and think that it's just a bunch of alt-right wingers. That's one of the reasons why I kind of shy away from labeling myself that way.
Often we get terms like radical used towards us, but radical, really? Peace, personal responsibility, voluntary interaction between individuals? That's radical? I'll tell you what's radical. Radical's using a gun and a bunch of guys in armored suits with helmets to enforce your will on people.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Get ready. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you very much for listening to the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I appreciate that very much. Help Free America Radio Network get to the next level. Go to freeamericaradio.us to do that. You can donate as much as you can, and if you're not able to, no big deal. I do accept Bitcoins over there. But anyway, onward and upward. Free America Radio on Facebook has a couple of articles. I spoke about it before the break. Approximately 70,000 Russians march against a war with Ukraine in Moscow today. That's a communist country, folks. And I said, when are the people here going to get out into the streets and protest, march, and demand all of our so-called leaders do what we tell them to do? They work for us, don't they? Oh, wait, no, they don't. They work for corporations that control this country. Research the Act of 1871. You have no choice. Stand up. This is your country. What are you doing to it? The FBI severs ties with the liberal domestic terrorism inspiring Southern Poverty Law Center. I'll be speaking about that on the Views Expressed today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. FBI severs ties with the liberal domestic terrorism inspiring Southern Poverty Law Center. That's from thedailycaller.com. Also, there's I believe it's a video. It's from Independent Film News and Medias, and it says social justice is a term you hear almost every day, but did you ever hear anyone define what it actually means? Jonah Goldberg of the American Enterprise Institute tries to pin this catch-all phrase to the wall. In doing so, he exposes the not-so-hidden agenda of those who use it. What sounds so caring and noble turns out to be something very different. Okay? There's another picture up on Free America Radio on Facebook. We the people standing together to uphold our Constitution. That's exactly what we need to do. From CainTV.com, that's Herman Cain, former presidential candidate. Sebelius, new Obamacare extension is not an extension, it's just an extension. Yes, confused yet? Go check out that article at CainTV.com. Also from a Revolt Digital Anarchies photo. This is what I'm curious, folks, why we vote people like this into office. Matter of fact, our votes don't count. All these people are selected from the higher-ups. Dianne Feinstein said, quote, freedom of speech is a privilege intended for educated professionals. It should be illegal for a high school dropout to promote anti-government propaganda on his $5 blog if he cannot properly verify his statements. In other words, she basically, and that was in a statement she made basically in terms of bloggers like you and I, if we're not paid by a company, we're not journalists if we're not paid by a company and show that, we are. Dianne Feinstein and all those people, Barbara Boxer, Nancy Pelosi, they're all scumbags. All of them. Every single last one of them. All of them. I don't care. They're all scumbags. They are totally against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America, period. Oh, they'll deny that, but of course, no, they're scum. They're absolute scum, and I hate every single one of them. Yes, I know hate is a strong word, but hey. Also, I got more stuff up there as well. From anti-NWOalliance.com. They put a picture up. Simple-minded people call these movies. Self-educated people call it propaganda. Black Hawk Down, Flight 93 the movie, Argo, Top Gun, Red Dawn, Zero, Dark 30, Hurt Locker, Pearl Harbor. It is. It's complete revisionist history propaganda because, look at, I'm not going to go see it, even though I have read the Bible, studied other, ancient scriptures, and I know the truth behind current established organized religion. I know the truth behind it. I know the facts behind it. I'm not going to go see Noah because it's just, from the people, not the critics. But I've heard from Glenn Beck, too, who went and saw it. But I've heard from other people, and guess what? It's just don't bother spending your $10 to go see that movie. I'm just saying. So anyway, let's go one more place. You can go to the Free America Radio Facebook page, check out the articles I'm going to be talking about today on Free America Radio at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. On freeamericaradio.us and wakingupthemasses.com. Remember that. Go to, I like going to Reuters because they're good and bad. There's some stuff that they put out that is good. U.S. growth improves, jobless claims drop. No, jobless claims drop only because of the fact that people got off the system and cannot get back on it. Hello? These people are off of the roll. So anyway, IMF throws Ukraine a financial lifeline. The IMF, that's who basically is the Bank of the World, the International Monetary Fund. Ukraine won a $27 billion international financial lifeline rushed through in the wake of the Russians' annexation of Crimea. Never mind Keystone XL, here's Plan B. That's from Reuters on the environment section. Yeah, so, a lot of stuff. U.S. job market dropouts increasingly likely to stay out. U.S. fines Morgan Stanley for not segregating client funds. J.P. Morgan defeats appeal in U.S. silver price fixing lawsuit. And that's under the business section of Reuters. In the markets, dollar up against yen on data. New Zealand dollar near 2.5-year high. That's on the markets in Reuters.com. The world, Cyprus axes police chief after protesters' gate crash peace event. That's under the world in Reuters.com. Politics section of Reuters. Faulty state Obamacare exchanges weigh joining healthcare.gov. And also, White House unveils plan to end NSA's bulk collection of phone data. Now, that's a bunch of crap, too. Deals on Reuters.com. Qatar buys helicopters, missiles in a $23 billion defense deal. And SoftBank in talks with Dish on broadband partnership. So a lot of things going on. You can go to Reuters.com for that one. And folks, things are changing dramatically. Things seem to change every 5 minutes. So, pay attention, see what's going on. Open your damn eyes. Your city's falling down around you. The walls are crumbling down, and you're sitting there going, oh, cool, look, wall crumbling. Oh, that's neat. I wonder what they're doing. Because you've been so dumbed down and so indoctrinated that your mind is so numb to the evils in our country at this point and in your own city that you really don't care. All you want to do is grab a beer, sit in your easy chair, and watch your stupid ESPN. Okay? So you people need to wake up and pay attention. Now, a lot of people tell me, why are you telling people that? Why are you doing that? Let me tell you something, folks. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't get it. Okay? I honestly do not get it. There's a way that, people have their own perspective, and I totally understand it. I totally understand that people have their own perspective. That's fine. I'm okay with that. It's when their perspective is not clearly seen. Their perception is skewed in some way. Okay? And then they interpret that as being, everything's fine. No, it's not, folks. No, it's not. And I'm just telling you that it's not. And you're sitting there going, hey, man, what's on TV? Anyway. Hey, I'm going to take a short little break. I shall return right after this.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Come join Reverend Wayne S. Pierce on The Views Expressed Monday through Friday at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern on Spreaker.com.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Got a few minutes left. I want to remind you that The Views Expressed Live is on at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us and also wakingupthemasses.com. A couple of shout-outs at the end of the show here, at the end of this podcast. Nick Tucker, Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook, and also distortedreality.podbean.com. Check out his newest episode. Holy crap. That's all I can say. I'm just blown away by it. Also, wakingupthemasses.com has a show called Kicking the Capstone with your host, Bob Brutus. It's usually on, whenever he decides to put it on, but it's usually on in the afternoon. It was on this morning. He was live this morning, so there's no set schedule for that. So go to wakingupthemasses.com, check out Kicking the Capstone with your host, Bob Brutus. He tells you everything, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, when, where, why they, do what they do, and all this, that, and the other thing. So, Kicking the Capstone with Bob Brutus at wakingupthemasses.com. Also, we are heard, the Views Express Live is heard on wakingupthemasses.com on 1610 a.m. microbroadcasting through the Chickamauga, Georgia area. And you might want to check that out as well. Anyway, more and more and more stuff. If you have any questions, please ask. No question is off limits. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. You can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. And, or if you want to send me other things that you think that I should, that you think I might find important, send it to freeamericaradio@unseen.is, freeamericaradio@unseen.is. Anyway, freeamericaradio.us is the website. You can help Free America Radio Network get to the next level by donating as much as you can, if you can. If you can't, no big deal. Not a big deal to me. So, help if you can. We definitely need to get the truth out there with the facts, and Free America Radio Network can do that. And by the way, you can also listen to Nick Tucker, Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker, on freeamericaradionetwork.us. You'll see the link on the page. I'm getting out of here, folks. Have a great day. This is Thursday, the 27th of March, 2014. See you on the Views Express live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us.